The biggest mystery of The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power has been the true identity of the Dark Lord Sauron, which was finally revealed in the Season 1 finale. The eighth and final episode, entitled Deloitte, perhaps a nod towards the creation of the One Ring, debuted on Amazon Prime Video on Thursday evening. Fans around the world watched in awe as the evil figure the numerous heroes have been fighting was revealed in shocking fashion. The episode begins with rain falling in the forest known as Erengalen, the Greenwood, as we see the stranger, Daniel Wayman, taking shelter from the elements. He climbs out from under a makeshift rock tent and examines his surroundings, as we see Hef still holding the apple that Nori, Markella Kavanagh, gave him, and he hears her in his head saying, "You're not a peril. You're good." The stranger hears a noise and finds someone watching him as he goes to chase the person and finds out it's Nori, saying her name for the first time. Suddenly, Nori crouches under the blanket she's carrying. And when she stands up again, it's the nefarious pale white character whose name has not yet been revealed, portrayed by Bridie Sisson. Suddenly the stranger is surrounded by the pale white character's mystical companions. When one of them, Gaeli Kapi, says in the Quenya language, "We come to serve you, Lord Sauron." They all kneel before the stranger and bow to him as he looks as confused as ever, as the title sequence plays. The episode cuts to Galadriel, mortified Clark, riding on horseback, while Elrond, Robert Aramayo, and Celebrimbor, Charles Edwards, await King Gil-galad's, Benjamin Walker, return. Gil-galad arrives tomorrow, expecting to be presented with a method of saving all Elvendom. And we had none, Elrond tells Celebrimbor, who is holding a piece of mithril. If only there was some way of doing more with less, Celebrimbor says with a chuckle, adding, "The sun itself began as something no bigger than the palm of my hand." Elrond naturally questions how they could match the powers of the sun, adding they are out of time. "We must inform the High King of our failure. Then the elves must prepare to abandon these shores forever," Elrond tells Celebrimbor. Suddenly a horse approaches, with Galadriel riding in with Halbrand, Charlie Vickers, still in dire need of elvish medicine. She tells Elrond that Halbrand was speared by an enemy land 6 days ago, adding that they rode without rest, as Halbrand is carried inside. "Can you help him?" Galadriel asks Celebrimbor. Inside, Galadriel chats with Elrond, who wonders how she crossed paths with the King of the Southlands. "How is it you are here?" he asks, and she repeats the question as he tells her they have much to discuss while Halbrand is being worked on. Galadriel and Elrond speak privately, as Elrond admits, "I should have never sent you on that ship. I should have trusted you. It is a mistake I will not make again." Galadriel says she left from that ship because she believed she was not yet worthy of the supposed honor she thought was being bestowed upon her. "I knew that, somehow, my tasks here was not yet complete. And when I surfaced, all I could do was swim and pray that I had chosen wisely. I did not cross that bitter ocean only to drown now, and nor will I let you," Galadriel tells Shim. "I have missed you," a relieved Elrond tells her, asking what they should do. "The only thing we can do, swim," she tells him. Celebrimbor is in his quarters when someone arrives and he demands that his person reveals himself. Halbrand arrives, asking for Galadriel, and Celebrimbor asks, "Shouldn't you be resting?" though Halbrand is clearly in awe of his surroundings. "What is this place?" Halbrand asks, as Celebrimbor responds, "This was the workshop of Celebrimbor," as Halbrand asks, "The Celebrimbor? Has not here is he?" Celebrimbor chuckles and says, "Well, as a matter of fact he is," while tugging a rope, opening the roof windows as he smiles at Halbrand. Celebrimbor. The master I apprenticed to use to speak to the wonders of your craft. I never dreamed did get to see them in person, Halbrand says in awe. Celebrimbor asks if Halbrand is a smith, and he says, "Nothing like your artistry. These gemstones, I've never seen anything like them." He gazes at a wooden box with 3 gemstones, one red, one blue and one clear, asking what he plans to use them for. Fëanor's jewelcraft managed to capture the essence of Valinor. I had hoped to do the same for Middle-earth, Celebrimbor says. Halbrand picks up the piece of mithril, saying it's a peculiar ore and asking what it is, though Celebrimbor says with a sigh, "Not enough." Halbrand keeps inspecting it, asking if has tried combining it with other ores to better stretch it out. Celebrimbor says that won't work because that would dilute this ore's unique qualities. "Forgive me, but at the risk of sounding a fool, couldn't the right alloy amplify those qualities?" Halbrand asks. Celebrimbor is curious, as Halbrand explains where he came from. Precious metals were scarce as hen's teeth. So we learnt to combine them to harness strengths and hide flaws. I've seen a trace of nickel added to iron to make a blade lighter and stronger. Might there not be some alloy to amplify the qualities of your ore? Halbrand asks, handing the piece of mithril back to Celebrimbor. Well, that is an intriguing suggestion, Celebrimbor says, as Halbrand says, "Call it a gift." The episode cuts to Therzan, Tristan Gravel, who says, soon he will travel that road which makes an end of every man who walks it. As seen in the Great Tower with King Tar Palantir, Ken Blackburn, who lies on his deathbed, as Therzan adds, "Black flags will fill our harbour. It will be our duty to forge for him a tomb, granting him the immortality in stone that no man, not even a king, can attain in life." As telling Kamen, Leon Wadham, Irian, Emma Horvath, that draftsmen from across Numenor have been summoned to Numenor to capture his visage, so they can propose a design. He tells them, of all the apprentices, you have been chosen to propose one as well. Each of you will be granted 1 hour with the king. Use it well. Tyrion is sitting by the feeble king's bedside as he tries to mumble something while she works on her drawing. She puts her drawing pad down and grabs a napkin to wipe his mouth, when suddenly he grabs her wrist and speaks with great conviction. "I know what you have been doing in the dark of night when you thought all eyes were asleep," the king says as Irian backs away and says, "I'm sorry, your handmaiden will be back in a moment, my king." "Then there is still time," he says cryptically, as Irian can't help it and asks, "Time for what?" "To warn you, young Muriel," he says, seemingly confusing Irian for his daughter, the Queen Regent Muriel, Cynthia Audie Robinson. "You're mistaken, I'm not." Irian begins as the king cuts her off and says, "Queen yet? No, but you will be, so know this, if the old ways of our people are not soon restored, our island will fall." Irian shouts for help as she comes back and the king has opened a secret chamber, telling her to go up but not to look for too long because he did and now he can't separate what is from what was from what will be. Irian looks at the door and walks through it, finding the mystical ball that he showed Muriel earlier this season. she takes the black cloth off the bowl as the episode cuts quickly back to Gil-galad, who is holding a piece of mithril with Elrond at his side. One object. For Middle-earth, Gil-galad says, as Elrond admits it, sounds strange but adds, surely we should exhaust every possible solution. We see that Elrond and Gil-galad are now with Celebrimbor and Galadriel, as Celebrimbor admits that the object he now wants to craft would be smaller than previously imagined. The show made history long before the first 2 episodes debuted on Thursday evening, since it's considered the most expensive series ever. The show's inception can be traced back to July 2017, when a grueling lawsuit between Warner Bros., the studio behind The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit films, and the J.R.R. Tolkien estate, was settled. Both the studio and the estate started offering the television rights to the franchise to streaming services, with Amazon quickly becoming a frontrunner. Amazon co-founder Jeff Bezos has previously given a mandate to the Prime Video streaming service that he wanted a large-scale franchise. Bezos was also reportedly a huge fan of the franchise and was personally involved in the negotiations for Just the rights alone, which were ultimately acquired in November 2017 for a whopping $250 million. Amazon also struck a deal with the Tolkien estate and the Tolkien Trust, where they are believed to have given the green light for upwards of 5 seasons of the show. With an estimated production commitment of between $100 million and $150 million per season, Amazon is expected to shell out $1 billion for the production costs and the rights, when all is said and done. The series was created by Patrick McKay and J.D. Payne, who had previously only worked on 2016's Star Trek Beyond as uncredited writers. The duo pitched a series that would be set in the Second Age of Middle-earth, a history glossed over in a 5-minute prologue during the Lord of the Rings films. They wanted to expand this into roughly 50 hours of television, which would include the forging of the Rings of Power, the rise of the Dark Lord Sauron, the fall of the Island Kingdom Númenor, and the final alliance between men and elves. There will be characters fans will recognize, though, most notably Galadriel, played in the LOTR movies by Cate Blanchett, with a much younger version played Morfydd Clark. There have been rumors that a white-haired character shown in the trailers, played by Bridie Sisson, previously thought to be Anson Boone, is actually Sauron himself, though producers have not confirmed that. Executive producer Lindsay Weber would neither confirm nor deny Sisson's character. She did offer a hint as to his origins to time. "We are enjoying all the speculation online and can tell you Bridie Sisson is an incredible actor," Weber began. "We also thought fans might like to know that her character is traveling from far to the east, from the lands of Rune," Weber teased. The new episodes will roll out simultaneously across the globe, with the first 2 episodes dropping on Thursday at 6 p.m./9 p.m. ET/2 a.m. UK. The finale of the 8-episode season arriving Thursday, October 13th exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.